Hey guys, Andy here once again, and today I'm here to talk to you about another James Herbert book, very briefly. Number 8 on my list of top, every James Herbert novel ranked basically. And at number 8, possibly a bit controversial, I think all of these books in some way are going to be controversial, owing to the fact that it's my placement, and these are all books that people have said are their favourite James Herbert books. So every one of these top 8 books is potentially a number one. So wherever I put it on this list, somebody's going to turn around and suggest that it isn't the right place, because to them it isn't. But to me, it is the right place, and that's why it's my list. It's just that simple. But I love every one of these books. Okay, I think the top 10 is a great top 10, but in particular, this top 8, all of these books are superb horror books, and this is just the list and the order that I've put them. So at number 8 on my list, I've chosen Herbert's 1984 novel Domain, which was his third and final Rats book, completing the trilogy. He did one of these every 5 years. And although he did continue the story on with The City, that's a graphic novel, it's not an actual full-length novel. I kind of wish he had wrote another Rats book in a way, because much like with Richard Lehmann's The Beast House trilogy, which then had a coda in Friday Night, which was a novella really, The City, being as it comes after Domain, being a graphic novel, makes you want for another book. And it's weird how Lehmann and Herbert had that same parallel, that they're well known, best known in fact, for their trilogy of horror books, which contain ultimately some form of like rodent. It's like a rodent pig thing in the Beast House books, and killer rats in obviously the Rats trilogy. But Domain for me is at number 8. It is my least favourite of the 3 Rats books, but that doesn't mean to say it isn't a book that I absolutely love. The main reason, I'll get to the negative straight away, that I like this less is it's simply the biggest. And I think the Rats books work best when it's constant action. And there's a lot of, I wouldn't necessarily say padding in Domain, but being as it's around 500 pages long, there's a lot in there that kind of slows the flow down for me. I think it has a great sense of place, with people hiding out in these tunnels and under the ground and trying to escape from the rats which have taken over almost everything. And it's like this almost post-apocalyptic world that people are living in now. I really enjoy all of that about it, and of course the rat attacks are as horrific as they get. And Herbert's writing by this point had reached a level where he was absolutely on fire with the majority of what he was putting out. But I also find that Domain is, it's a slower, more character-based story that kind of loses a little bit of that visceral shock and awe by the virtue of, instead of that being what it is, it has so much more character development and story to it. Now, it is a great book. There are people that consider this to be his finest rat book, and I absolutely understand why. It is certainly his most complete. Like I say, it's his longest, and it's possibly his best written. It's just that for me personally, I prefer the other two, being as they're shorter. Maybe it's the fact that I prefer the pulpy nature of some of his earlier novels. But this is a superb horror book. And if you want to read a book about killer rats and people hiding from them, and society sort of collapsing as a result of this rodent infestation that's taken over everything, and it's caused, not only mass death, but bodies piling up in the streets, and the death of power and electric and gas and heating and everything else like that, and how people are surviving. This is a book that deals with all of that, and has a strangely ambiguous ending as well, which is something I enjoyed. Again, I kind of wish we'd had another one, even a coda to this. But yeah, there isn't an awful lot more I can say about it without spoiling key parts, and the fact that this is a book about killer rats and people hiding from them. But it's a great one. It's a genuinely great one. I know that other people might rank this even higher up, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I've put it at number 8, which I think is a great place for it, and a superb book.